Hi, my name is Beer, and let's start with Resident Evil 2. This is a complete remake of a classic game. Overwhelmingly positive review score softly hints that it was a complete success as well. Resident Evil 2 offers a fresh take on a classic survival horror saga with realistic visuals, immersive audio and a new over-the-shoulder camera. You will also get modernized controls on top of gameplay modes from the original game. I can still remember when I played the original game when I was 14 years old, and somehow I had my mental balls big enough to play it every evening after school. Well, on those rare occasions when I actually went to school. I'm a YouTuber not because I was very good at studying, you know, but I was good at games. That's why you should avoid me if you need your appendix surgically removed, but if you want your boredom removed, I'm your guy, that's for sure. Dysmantle. You can break almost all the objects for materials and craft new items from them. Explore the handcrafted open world and uncover its mysteries, clear areas of monsters and claim them as your own. Also build bases to establish your presence and farm exotic plants to reap the rewards as crops get ripe. Game has 92% of positive reviews on Steam and only 3% short from overwhelmingly positive title. People are talking that this is very relaxing but also a challenging game. You will stumble on areas with a large group of zombies and will get stressed a lot, but later you will grow some potatoes and enjoy a relaxing atmosphere in your garden. Ark: Survival Evolved. You are stranded naked, freezing and starving on the shores of a mysterious island called the Ark. You must hunt, harvest resources, craft items, grow crops, research technologies and build shelters to withstand the elements. Use your cunning and resources to kill or tame and breed many different species of dinosaurs. Various Potatosauruses, cold-bearer raptors and other ancient creatures roaming the land, and team up or prey on hundreds of other players to survive and dominate. Speaking about domination, when I was like 10 years old and I was visiting the bathroom in my friend's house, I was trying to pee as loudly as possible to show his family who the real alpha male is. His father never let me in ever again. You know, out of fear. So domination is in my genes. I hope it is in yours as well. The Turing Test. This is a challenging first-person puzzle game set on a Jupiter's moon, Europa. You are an engineer working for the International Space Agency set to discover the cause behind the disappearance of the ground crew stationed there. Upon arrival, series of puzzles await you. Tests which, according to the station's AI, can only be solved by a human. These puzzles have apparently been set by the missing ground crew, but why they have created them and what are they hiding from? Game is short, story-rich and makes you think about things. You know, philosophical things. Sounds boring, but it's not. Great game. Mutazione, or however it is pronounced, a delightfully quirky indie game. Here you play as Kai, who has traveled to the mysterious town of Mutazione to care for her sick grandfather. Because, you know, like in every game, you want him to leave that workshop for you, right? So, you want him dead as soon as possible. I'm kidding, of course, and my humor is dark, but this game is obviously for more mature players. Also, this is a very short game. You'll complete it in just a few hours. But during your time with the game, you'll speak to the town's bizarre yet delightful creatures, explore the surrounding areas, and even grow some crops. A Plague Tale: Innocence. Here you'll take control of young Amisha and her little brother Hugo in a journey through the darkest hours of history. Haunted by Inquisition soldiers and surrounded by unstoppable swarms of rats, you will struggle to survive against overwhelming odds. Dead, rotten bodies lay everywhere and rats, oh, those creatures can and will eat anyone alive who does not carry a light source. As I always say, this is a bit unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
You know, rats are no vampires. I used to own one, it liked bathing in the sun rays.
Well, what if those are vampire rats?
I never actually thought about that. Anyway, keep in mind that the atmosphere here is grim and dark, so if you are a sensitive person, it may prove a challenge to play. Game tend to pull the ropes of emotion, and if you let your guard down and allow it to do its dark job, it will control you like a puppet. But in general, all that darkness is cool and original, keeping in mind all those airy fairy unicorn games people are used to play these days.
Fight Grab.
Mortal Kombat is for the weak. If you want to become a really strong and respectful warrior, there is another way better game for that. You may think that I am joking, but
Fight Grab
has 93% of positive reviews, so it's officially better than most fighting games ever released. You will take control of a simulated physics-powered grab and fight various opponents with one basic rule: flip your enemy over to win. Take advantage of a wide range of equipment to beat your opponent down. Claws, swords, guns, armor, explode jet engines and more. Maybe dildo, I don't know. And you have to stop your opponent's blade with your pincers, run along walls and generally go full-on crab with all the fighting techniques at your disposal. This game is just like you always wanted fight games to be, but probably never realized.
Fight crab.
We'll end that ravenous fighting game hunger you were feeling for years.
Or maybe not, I don't know, maybe you are just a monkey on a branch in the zoo and you just like how my channel sounds.
Forager. This is a 2D open-world title inspired by exploration, farming and crafting games such as Stardew Valley, Terraria and Zelda. You will start small and improve your base, skills, equipment, network of friends and enemies, and build your future as you see fit. You can play Forager almost anywhere you want, so as the name of the game suggests, you will be doing quite a lot of foraging, also fishing, mining, hunting, farming and digging as well. Explore different biomes and showcase your best discoveries at the local museum. Here you will also build and grow a base out of nothing and buy land to explore and expand. Game has a lot of RPG elements as well, so you will level up and learn new skills, abilities and blueprints. People on Steam are saying that the game is very addictive and is about 17 hours long, so you can finish it during your lazy weekend. Heavy Rain. Here you'll experience a psychological thriller filled with innumerable twists and turns. Here every choice matters and the endings are many. Here you'll try to solve the mystery and hunt a murderer known as the Origami Killer, named after his personal style of leaving behind folded paper shapes at crime scenes. So here 4 characters, each following their own leads and with their own motives, must take part in a desperate attempt to prevent the killer from claiming his next victim. You need to think fast and act even faster, as every choice and move you make can result in a dramatic, game-changing consequences, and even determine who lives and who dies. Or maybe you are the killer the whole time. It's not a spoiler or something, I haven't played this game so far, but I am really tempted now. I like games like Detroit Become Human, Wolf Among Us and similar story-rich tales, so how this story ends is entirely up to you. Orcs Must Die 3. This is probably the most entertaining tower defense game I have ever played, and I don't have specifically the third part in mind. The whole franchise will erase your boredom like your ex erased you from her life without a trace. So anyway, here you will be killing orcs, wave after wave after wave, and you will do that not only with various traps and turrets, but personally as well. You can play solo or 2-player co-op, arm yourself with a massive arsenal of weapons and slice, burn and zap hordes of repugnant orcs. The game is incredibly fun and at first it seems easy. Oh, but all this is just a deception. Later games will turn into incredibly hard try again and again battles. One misplaced trap, one missed shot and, you know, you are dead. If you have a weaker PC or just saving money, you can buy the second or even the first part of the franchise and have a great time as well. Vaporum. This is a grid-based single-player and single-character dungeon crawler RPG set in an original steampunk setting. The game is obviously inspired by old-school games like Dungeon Master, the Eye of the Beholder series and the most recent Legend of Grimrock. So here, stranded in the middle of an ocean in front of a gigantic tower, you have to find out what the place is, what happened here, and most importantly, who are you and where the secret beer stash is. The game looks beautiful, so if you like dungeon crawlers, keep in mind that this one has very positive reviews on Steam and is a true gem for your collection. Styx, Master of Shadows. This is an infiltration game with RPG elements, taking place in a dark fantasy universe where you sneak, steal and assassinate your way through as Styx, 200 years old goblin. Here you will be completing various missions and at the same time avoiding detection. Sneak in the shadows, assassinate your targets in close combat, or, you know, orchestrate accidents. RPG mechanics let you unlock new powerful skills, impressive special moves, and optimized equipment that will grant you spectacular powers such as invisibility, which is not meant for any creepy activities you just had in mind. You can also buy second part of the game. It is discounted as well, just be careful don't acquire the collection bundle that includes a DLC. You see, that DLC is just a weapon and an outfit, nothing more. Also, it's not cosmetics only. These items are quite powerful, so in a way it's a pay-to-win DLC. That is a blasphemy beyond any words. Wasteland 3 Colorado Collection. This version of the game includes the Battle of Steeltown and Cult of Holy Detonation expansions, as well as the Colorado Survival Gear bonus items. And the game itself is a wonderful gem for Fallout, Baldur's Gate and turn-based combat fans. In Wasteland 3 you will travel the frozen wastes of Colorado to deal with gangs, cults and psychopathic clowns in an effort to bring stability to the wastes. Or, you know, even more chaos and even more psychopathic clowns. Here your decisions really matter, not like in real life. Alan Wake. On Steam it has 90% of positive reviews, so that should keep your attention here. And while Alan Wake is a bit older game, it only means that it stood the trials of time really well. It is presented in the style of a TV series and features action as well as storytelling sequences. As you dive deeper and deeper into the mystery, you'll face overwhelming odds, plot twists and cliffhangers. Yeah, actual cliffhangers in the game, that's cool. It's only by mastering the fight with light combat mechanic that you can stay one step ahead of the darkness. I should probably say that this is a full version of the game, with all the DLCs, improved resolution and all the other stuff you don't really care about if you never played the game. It's good, I do recommend it. Lonely Mountains Downhill. Sometimes all these story-heavy games can wear you down, so titles like Lonely Mountains can be really refreshing for your brain. Although be careful, this game will change your opinion about bikes as a safe and family-friendly transport vehicle. You'll witness many dumb ways to die and maybe even think about purchasing a helmet for your own calm weekend rides. So here you'll take on a thrilling ride down an unspoiled mountain landscape, make your way across thick forests, narrow trails and wild rivers, race, jump, slide and try not to crash, all the way from the peak to the valley. You'll often fail, but the more you train, the better you become. If you are in doubt, you can try the game demo for free. LA Noire. This is a violent crime thriller that blends action with true detective work. You will search for clues, chase down suspects and interrogate witnesses as you struggle to find the truth in a city where everyone has something to hide. And when you try to unearth the sinister secrets, there is a huge chance that someone will try to silence you for good. During Hollywood's golden age, you play as LAPD detective thrown headfirst into a city drowning in its own success. Corruption is rampant, the drug trade is exploding and murder rates are at an all-time high. So in your fight to climb the ranks and do what's right, you must unravel the truth behind a string of arson attacks, racketeering conspiracies and brutal murders. People on Steam are saying that civilian casualties are just a part of the job, and the game itself is like a noir GTA 5. Curse of the Dead Gods. This game is obviously oriented for the fans of Hades, or as one commentator on Steam said, Curse of the Dead Gods plays as Hades and looks like Darkest Dungeon. Honestly, it's a fair comparison. So in this game you will seek untold riches, eternal life and divine powers. It will lead you to this accursed temple, a seemingly infinite labyrinth of bottomless pits, deadly traps and monsters. Well, the rest is self-explanatory. The game also introduces a cool mechanic of unique curses. They influence each attempt, putting a twist on every action. Although keep one thing in mind, you will have to parry a lot and that Souls-like mechanic sometimes is very annoying. Otherwise, it's a great game. 86% of reviews on Steam are positive. Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. You'll become a mighty Inquisitor and carry out the Emperor's will. Choose one of the multiple classes and take part in brutal combat encounters. Embark on a huge variety of missions with your fellow agents and fight through a single-player story campaign. It is set in a haunted fortress monastery which hides a terrible secret from the past of the Inquisition. Yeah, they probably have put pineapple into potato salad. In general, this is a very nice game, but keep in mind that it is best played with a gamepad, because playing with keyboard and mouse is really not as comfortable. Although some people could argue about that, because there are many gamers in both gamepad and keyboard camps. Although let's be fair, gamepad camp is way bigger, and the gameplay, the main thing of every game, is highly addictive. It will burn tens or even hundreds of your hours even quicker than alcohol does. People on Steam are saying that this game is a no-brainer for those who like Diablo. It's basically the same, just in Warhammer universe. Complete collection includes Inquisitor Martyr and Inquisitor Prophecy games. On top of that, you will get around 20 DLCs as well. Call of Cthulhu. The year is 1924 and here you will take on the role of a private detective. But instead of catching cheating husbands and wives, you must do a bit more serious job, so you are sent to investigate the death of a well-known family on a remote island. What could go wrong? Yeah, you will probably meet some strange creatures, experience weird science and even come face to face with a creepy cult. I mean, what else is there to do when you spend your time on an isolated island? Knit socks? Repaint the fences? Make potato salad? Although I doubt that you could find the best quality doctor's sausage here.
I am so bored. Yeah, me too. Let's join a cult.
But if you think about it, honestly, if the people of the island would do some sock knitting and repainting the fences for fun, maybe, just maybe they wouldn't need to join a sinister cult for fun. Some food for thought. Anyways, people are saying that the story of the game is very interesting, engaging and spooky, but Call of Cthulhu doesn't let you explore much. It is more focused on nice cutscenes and it does feel more like an adventure game. Dead by Daylight. This is an asymmetric horror game where you can play as the killer or one of the 4 survivors, or as I like to call them, victims. Since you are not a victim, at least not in the gaming world, your projected goal should be to hunt down the other 4 players. That is if you are lucky enough to become a killer, a powerful hacker and slasher, or a paranormal entity of nightmares. Because honestly, there is only a small chance that you will end as an alpha and not some puny victim. Each level is procedurally generated and the spawn points are random as well. But be warned that the game's community can be quite toxic if you don't have any friends of your own. And if you do have friends, they are probably toxic as well. And if your friends are nice, are they even friends? Thank you for watching. You can find many more Steam Summer Sale videos on my channel, so don't miss any of them. Have fun and let's be friends with benefits. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.